Welcome back to my channel. I'm under a new name, The Prolific Prophet, brought to you by Papa Whiskey. Okay. Hopefully I done included the intro, cause I'm trying something new. You know how I do. Always trying something new. But for this, pick a card, reading, pick a pal, whatever, however you want to say it, right? This is working through your shadows, right? Working through your shadows and work and the messages that come forth through the shadows. See, by us coming up on winter time, that's when people really dive into these shadows and the depths of who they are, things they try to avoid, you know. But those shadows make you who you are, right? So this is really one of those. If you want to get an early head start on it, you can. Um, if you want to come back to it, you can. It's timeless, right? So this is working through your shadows. Pick a pal. All right, let's get into it. So now you have pal 1, pal 2, pal 3. If you're an auditory type of person, I don't know if I said that right. I'm gonna just make a sound, ring a bell. I got like 3 bells right here. So when I point to pal 1 or the pals, if the sound resonate to you, you could pick it, right? So we got pal 1, pal 2, and pal 3. All right, let's get into it. Start with pal 1. If you chose pal 1, this is for you to make sure they're not in the video. Okay, cool. I'm still working on my editing, y'all. So don't shoot. Don't come for me. All right, so let's get it started. Let's see the messages that come through for your shadow. Working through your shadow. So the first one we got is torment. Oh, by the way, I'm also using these shadow healing aboriginal guidance cards. Get this from Amazon. But torment, plaguing your thoughts with self-doubt only exacerbates the problem further. First, make peace with yourself, and shortly thereafter, you will regain your confidence. So, off the bat, I'm getting that you guys are very, very, very anxious about the future, very anxious about the things that will happen, right? Or you're in your head too much. See, sometimes you gotta get out your head. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy by being in our own head, right? So we overthink, we look back on the past, we look towards the future, but we're never present, okay? So we're never present, and that based off what has happened in the past fuels what could happen in the future, right? So you guys are way over your head. That's one thing. So that's something you're gonna have to work on, okay? But let's look further into it. Okay? So cool. Oh, yeah. We have 2 of Pentacles, which is about making choices. So you guys may have difficulty making choices, choosing, or just making balancing things out. I feel like you guys probably have been on survival mode. Not even survival mode. Been in a place where you've experienced so much disappointment, where you don't trust yourself to make a choice, right? But you gotta trust yourself to make a choice. Yep, like I said, disappointment, right? And you're learning how to do that. I feel like you're in a place where I feel like this could stem from school. You just probably one of my pals that got bullied growing up, and you are anxious about how people might treat you. This honestly probably would keep you back from advancing, to be honest. You probably have a lot of self-doubt about whether you're smart enough, whether you're good enough, whether you're able enough. But the thing is, if you already knew the knowledge, you wouldn't have to get taught. That's the whole thing about experiences, right? So I do feel like a lot of this is due to past issues that contributed to you making decisions, right? Or even just choices when it comes to your life. I feel like you don't trust yourself a lot to make choices on your own, right? You question, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Should I be doing this? Should I do this? And you don't even go anywhere. You just stay in one place, and you get tired of staying in one place. Okay, so you gotta dive deep into yourself and walk confidently that whatever choice you make, whether good or bad, is your choice, and it just lead you closer to yourself in these experiences in life. Okay. You got it? Cool. So we're gonna move on to the next. Cause I'm trying to keep these short. Keep these short, you know. Okay, so we got empowerment and freedom and responsibility and balance. So that goes back to what I was saying about that balance, right? But I feel like y'all in the best form of freedom is empowering. How to get freedom is empowering yourself. Finding the words and the things that you could do to encourage who you are, yourself. Finding what makes you feel liberated, okay? That could free your mind. You should listen to Tam's Free Mind, right? That I promise you. But you need to find outlets that could free your mind. So during this shadow period, upcoming shadow period, right? Um, find outlets that help you free your mind, right? And surround yourself with people who uplift you, right? Who uplifts what you do and tell you confidently to walk in your truth, right? Whether people agree with you or not, right? And once you start walking in your truth, people who are not supposed to be around will fall off. People who are not supposed to be around will fall off. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Oh, Lord. Have mercy. Lord, have mercy. I'm sorry. But yeah, my bad. Um, once you, oh Lord, I'm trying to get by. I feel like you just been trying to get by. Okay. But yeah, I'm so sorry for that. Oh Lord. Okay. What was I saying? Let's go on to the next part. Okay. Okay. I feel like if you're gonna be an overthinker, don't think about what if it does go wrong. Think about what if it goes right. I feel like some of you guys, and this is just a few, I feel like some of you guys are not scared to fail, but you're scared to succeed because success can be fading, right? But if you have the fruits of the labor, don't you deserve to eat them while they still ripe? Words of Lil Wayne. So I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. Let me work out. And it's funny because the back of your card is that yellow orange tint, and that deals a lot with the sacral and solar plexus chakras and whatnot, right? And those two deals with creativity and will. So I feel like in order for you to create your own success, create your own happiness, you have to change the way you think in your mind, right? You have to change the way you think about yourself, okay? And you got to fill those with positive thoughts, okay? Going to the next. Revenge. Ooh. Trump of lies. Now we get into the nitty gritty of things. Some of you guys may have felt that you've been done wrong. Some of you guys may have felt that you have been duped, deceived, tricked. You know what's funny? And I'm gonna read this out for you. When I was doing your cards, this one came out too, which is green. And this talks about deception. Deception can have a long-term effect on a person's soul. However, we need to be more careful about those we place our trust in. Not everyone deserves disrespect. So I feel like a lot of y'all issues come from trusting the wrong people, trusting the wrong crowd, being around the wrong crowd. Some of you guys have been around people that you know you were supposed to be around, right? And now, at this point, you're paying for the consequences. So a part of this responsibility is taking ownership for the troubles that we cause on our lives too. Not just what other people do, but a part of being free is about taking accountability for our own stuff, right? Um, and I think that goes back to the choices. Like, we choose to hang around these people, even though we see these red flags. We choose to hang around this person, but even though we see how messed up they are, right? We choose this, right? And by our choices, we block our own. We block our own blessings, right? So you got to be careful with the choices that we make. We got to be careful with, and take ownership that, okay, yeah, I chose wrong. Instead of just constantly always blaming it on somebody else, I chose wrong. I chose to believe that this person was good for me when I knew that they weren't. I chose to follow through with this plan even though I seen the signs that it wasn't good. Sometimes the biggest liar that we experience is to ourselves. We our own worst liar, right? And we want to feel the need to get back, but to be honest, that revenge stuff, it really ain't worth it. Most of the time. Most of the time. It depends on dire circumstances. I mean, like dire circumstances. Dire circumstances, okay? With that being said, make peace about everything. Even the choices you decide to make and the action that happened. Make peace with it, okay? Got a few more cards and then on to the next pile. We have Rah, Rah, Rah. And we also have Crown of the Butterfly Bambini. Right? Crown of the Butterfly Bambini. So I feel like most of these is, when I look at this, right? Hold on. When I look at these two cards, right? This one is stepping out into radiance, and the butterfly always symbolizes transformation. But going within yourself is transforming within yourself. When you see a butterfly transform, they do it internally, and it internally comes outwardly, right? In order to show who you really are, you have to transform your inner dialogue, your inner thoughts, right? You got to transform that into something better, greater, bigger, right? And fill it up with positive thoughts. And I'm not saying we don't have negative thoughts. We all gonna have negative thoughts, but replace those. That's a part of our conscious choice. We have to choose to replace them. We can either we are just self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If we believe that we are, then we become. As a man thinketh, so shall he be, right? What else? So I think for the shadow period, you really have to work on your mind, your overthinking, and then actually putting forth. I think more so think less and do more. Not be mindful of what you not saying don't be mindful, but when it comes to going for the goals that you want, the success you want, the happiness you want, think less and more do. Because if you're always doing when you're emotionally charged, when somebody do you wrong, but you're not as emotionally charged when you want doing something that you want to go after, it doesn't make sense. You're not gonna go after it. Why would you waste your time trying to get revenge from somebody who probably don't care about you in the first place? Oh, that wasn't nice. I'm so sorry for that. Why would you waste your time getting revenge about somebody who really is not of your best interest? Rather than using that same energy to go after what you want. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, but transferred. So why don't transfer that hate into something positive, right? So I'm just gonna read these cards out. And we have trust. Oh my God, what I just say? What I just say? And soothe. So, trust. The trigger statement, what if something happens? I said that at the beginning. It's funny. The truth statement, I take my hands off the wheel. You are not alone. The universe is working with you. Relax and enjoy the adventure. Soothe. I need to fix this. The trigger statement is, I need to fix this. The truth statement, I am willing to learn from this. Lift yourself above your life situation and observe as a witness. Understanding you are so much more than the story. And with that being said, this concludes pile number 1. On to pile number 2. Y'all just gonna have to watch me collect this up, okay? Look, it is what it is. You know how people are making good videos and don't have no edits? You just have to take it for what it is. I'm kind of like my rising is in Leo, so I kind of like things to be nice. Okay, so if you pick pile number 2, this is for you. I think one thing about this pile is the color right here. It's like the blue represents throat chakra. So I feel like this has a lot to do with communication, how you communicate. And I feel like this is more so your spirituality too. But we're going to see. Anguish. Simply knowing there is an end to this feeling of sorrow is beginning of your healing process. So anguish, when I see anguish, I think about angry or pain, but I feel like you guys are aware enough to know that pain ends, right? Pain lets us know that we're alive, even though it's unpleasant. It lets us know that we're here, that we're alive, and it keeps us moving, right? So I feel like you guys have a awareness that, okay, although I'm going through this, I'm gonna get through this, right? Even though I'm going through this situation, I'm gonna get through it, right? But you have some of you guys, and this is just general, that who wants to have a pity party. I mean, okay, so you guys, I'm a person. I do not like sugarcoating anything. I really hate trying to find a proper words to say what I really want to say. I'm not a sugar coater. I'm not a cookie cutter. I'm none of that. So I'm just have to say it the way it is, okay? So some of you guys like to have a self-pity party. That's fine. I mean, that's not fine. But, you know, the thing why I say it's fine is because if you're aware of that, right? And you want to feel bad for yourself, you can. You allowed to feel bad for yourself, but don't stay in the pit. Don't stay in the pit of the party. Okay? So, you're going to go on to your little tarot cards. We have the Fool. Ooh, working through your shadows. Oh, you guys like to indulge. You like to indulge. You guys like to indulge. That's what it is. You guys like to act the palm flu. Y'all like to get drunk. Y'all like that. It's almost like some of you guys are rather mask it with substances than deal with it, right? But the thing is, the more you mask it, the longer you prolong it, right? The longer you prolong it, and it could be like you could get to the very end of it. But it's something about the ending that makes you nervous, right? You want to feel some type of euphoric sense, euphoria, right? Shout out to Angus, which is funny. Anguish. Yeah, and Euphoria, Angus, the one, and apparently he passed away from ODing. So you can't cover up how you feel with substances. Let me go ahead and get that straight up. No matter how many parties you go to, no matter how many times you try to drink, smoke, indulge, You can't hide from how you feel, right? You gotta face it. You guys have to face it head on. And if you don't want to face it head on, you can face it little by little, little by little. But you can't just go back to what you're used to because that's what's familiar, right? You can't just keep starting over. Well, you can keep starting over. Let me say that. You can keep starting over at any time. But what I mean by that is you can't just keep ignoring it. You're in a cycle, right? You're in a cycle. Okay? That when something bad happens, you go back, you indulge, and then it's temporary, and then it happens again. You go back, indulge, happens again until you gotta break the cycle, sweetheart. Okay, break the cycle. We have strength and confidence, and we have jealousy and grudges. Oh Lord. Okay. So with strength and confidence, jealousy and grudges, I like the spider. I like spiders. Spiders weave their own web, weave their own nest, and sometimes spiders can weave nest their own home and it looks better than another spider. But that doesn't mean that spider's home is just as bad. You know, I feel like in order to break the cycle, you have to remove yourself from the spell of the vices, right? The spell of the dopamine induced vices, right? And I also feel like some of this has a lot to do with you looking at what other people, how far other people got in comparison to you, and you're looking at what they have, and it's not you, and you can't compare yourself to somebody else. You can't compare yourself to somebody else, right? So a part of this is you do have to find a way to break away, right? And again, this is just me telling you this type of stuff you work on during this shadow period. So I have this thing. Once you become aware of what's going on, it's your responsibility to break away from it. So with that being said, you do have enough strength to break away. But you also got to learn how to not look at what other people have. Okay? Let's go on to the next. If I feel like I got something else too, I'm going to let you know. Okay? Isolation. What I was saying. You got to learn. And fear. I feel like some of you guys feel like you're not good enough. I feel like a part of you guys' psyche has convinced y'all you're not good enough to achieve what you want. And you vicariously live through other people, right? A part of you guys don't like to be alone. Just for that reason. So you will surround yourself with people. You surround yourself with people. You will surround yourself with people. Okay, yeah, you don't like to be alone. You feel and some of you guys probably feel like you're going crazy when you're alone. Like your mind's playing trick on you too. But you don't know how to defeat these thoughts, right? But indulging isn't as good either. So if indulging is good, the only way out is through and just going through sitting with the emotions and understanding why you feel the way you feel. You have to get through it by yourself. Because can't nobody do it for you. Nobody's going to hold your hand. Nobody's going to read you instructions. We don't get instructions on how to life. We just do it. So the best way, I suggest you find you a good inspirational YouTuber, podcast, a book, or just sit with your thoughts. Don't dwell on them. Sit with them. Sit with your emotions and let them flow through you. And understand why. Because the longer you avoid it, the longer you're in a cycle, right? And you might be one of those people who's scared of their emotions. You're scared of how you feel. You're scared of what might happen. You're scared of the things that you feel. But you got to be confident enough that you could get through this without shooting yourself in the foot. That's the best way I could put it. right? Speaking of foot, he got a knife through his foot. Some of us feel trapped. Some of y'all feel like there's no way out, but there's always a way out. Especially in my because I'm a numerology person, but I try not to incorporate it all the time. But with it's 10, when you reduce 10 down to a 1, it's a new beginning. You always gonna have a chance to renew yourself, but don't fall into the same pattern. My band director used to say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Okay? So, on to your next set of cards. Is this me? Parasites. Ooh. I feel like some of you guys hang around people out of desperation. But the thing about this is you become who you hang around, right? You become who you surround yourself with. You become who oh, that was loud. You become them. And then it's reached a point where you're unrecognizable. You need to also assess your friend groups during this upcoming shadow period. Assess your friend groups, okay? Assess how they move. Assess if they're going anywhere in life. And I'm not saying like you can't be friends with everybody, but you just can't be friends with everybody. I'm just gonna keep it up. I'm gonna keep it a buck, if not 50. You can't be friends with everybody. Because eventually the people you surround yourself with will become who you are, and you will become them, and truth be told, you're not going to be recognizable to yourself. You ever had those moments where you just don't recognize yourself when you look in the mirror because you hang around the wrong people? And sometimes it's not even like sometimes these people suck the life out of you. Just suck. Like you're like their food supply, as their energy vampires and whatnot. They're just sucking the life out of you. And as they look youthful, you just look downridden and you don't understand why. It's because you're hanging around them a lot and you don't know how to be by yourself. And we are social creatures. Humans are social creatures. So if you don't want to be by yourself, hang around somebody who have some good sense, who could talk some sense into you. Okay. Ooh. Divine disguise. Entire angel. I feel like a part of this is you not being who you are. And a part of this is, sometimes when we go through stuff, it's typically because we are not who we supposed to be. I feel like you guys are cosplaying as the people you're around, right? I feel like you guys are pretending to be something that you're not. And that's primarily due to you're trying to be digestible to the group around you. But as I'm here to say is, I am a person who believes in authenticity. If you're not a person who drinks, you don't be drinking out here in the streets. If you're not a person who dwells in the vices, don't be out here dwelling in the vices because you want people surrounded by you, right? And I feel like some of these people will actually start to fall off. Might be a blessing in disguise for you too, right? So the things that happen to you might be a blessing in disguise as far as what we think is being read about us, right? So I feel like a lot of these people might fall off, and it's one of the things where the universe is gonna forcefully do it because you won't do it, and the universe, God, whoever you attune yourself with, will force you to look at yourself and be like, "Hey, yo, is this you? Is this you? This is not you." And you still got to find the strength to become that person. I feel like this all deals with authenticity too. Okay? So I'm gonna go on to your last cards. It's so I don't make this up. I do not make this up, bro. And I promise you, I did not pick these. So we got honoring self, the trigger statement. This is the way it always been done, has been done. The true statement, I create my way. You are ready to fulfill your desires by thinking outside of the box. The path less traveled may be more fulfilling. Child, I do not make this up. And it says honor self. And then confidence. The trigger statement, I can't do that. The true statement, I am a light. What did I say? What did I say? I don't know what part I said it, but oh my God, I just said it. Step forward and be the bright light that you are and serve your purpose to the world by sharing your amazing gifts. And with that being said, pile number 2, this concludes your reading. You're going to get a part of my intermissions because I am not, I'm just going to accept the fact that, I'm just going to get to editing when I feel like editing, okay? I just want to accept that. Hold up, Lord. There we go. All right. If you chose pile number 3, this is for you, and say this is for me. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep this cute. So you're gonna go ahead and look to your card. Anger. Use your anger in a creative and positive way that allows you to maintain your dignity while producing a far more satisfying outcome. It was so funny because earlier today, I was thinking to myself, it's okay to be emotionally fueled, but not emotionally charged. And what I mean, and there's a difference between the two. Emotionally fueled people get stuff done to better themselves. Emotionally charged people go wild aimlessly, right? So when you fueled by your emotions, you are able to make change, produce change. If you're angry about a situation, that emotion fuel you up to make the change happen. If you're sad, that emotion fuels you up to change that. If you're happy, that emotion fuels you up to maintain it. When you're charged by anger, you charge at people, right? You are not thinking about anything except your emotions, and you become irrational, right? And I'm not saying don't feel what you feel, but know how to use your emotions to better yourself. Know how to use your emotions to better who you are, right? A part of the shadow period will be, I'm not saying control your emotions, but transform or transmute your emotions. Don't control them, yes, but transmute them as well. Feel them, accept them, transmute them, right? Can I use my emotions to make change in my life? Why do I feel this way? Can I use this, right? And I mean by why do I feel this way? Why do I feel triggered? I hate that word, but why do I feel triggered, right? Or if it's something more direct, oh yeah, you made me upset, you made me angry, all that stuff. Your emotions helps you decide if you want to be around somebody or not, because how they make you feel. Okay, so let's go on to the next. We have 9 of Pentacles, the Empress. Okay, so I feel like a lot of this has to do with nurturing yourself. Ooh. I feel like a lot of this a lot to do with tempering your emotions, right? I feel like when you guys are very, very, very upset, you okay. You guys are very, very, very unsteady. You become like a wild beast, and who will stop at nothing to feel better. So, even though your emotions are valid, even though your emotions are valid, it could seem invalid based off how you may conduct yourself charged by it, right? So, then oh my gosh, it's almost one of those things where like you should have never messed with me in the first place. If you didn't want these problems, you should have left me alone. I don't mess with nobody until they mess with me. And then when you go low, I go to hell. That's why you should really leave me alone, right? So we're working through that during this upcoming shadow period, right? We're not gonna force these people to wave the white flags. We're gonna transmute it into something greater. Okay? Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. I feel like you guys have the ability to transmute it too. I feel like you guys have the ability to use that same energy to get people to surrender. You use that same energy to make life better for you. Okay? You use that same energy to really project yourself in life. Like rocket fuel. Like rocket fuel to a rocket, right? The goal is to get to the moon, but if you overexert it, that rocket can explode mid-air, and so you'll never get to your destination, right? So knowing how much fuel to put in you, like to utilize, is knowing is good for you. Okay, so you gonna go on to the next. See, we got peace and tranquility. And we got travel and stamina. I feel like this is about pal who, I'm not gonna say hold grudges, but I'm gonna say hold grudges. I didn't want to say that, but I'm gonna say it. Right? I feel like this is my pal who really know how to hold something over somebody, right? Now, there are people like that, and I would never tell people to change who they are. I would never tell people to change who they are. But I was always tell people, use that same stamina you have to hold something over somebody's head. Put that into something that could benefit you. Okay? So I think this shadow period, work through work through how you could use your feelings to propel you forward rather than backwards. Because most of the time, people might have to, when they see you upset, people might feel like they have control over you, right? But don't give in to their emotions, because 9 times out of 10, I don't know if you're one of those people who but I know when I'm upset, I get very after my whole episode, I get very, very tired, right? Almost like a fire that's been extinguished, right? So I think, no, I don't think, I know that instead of it going towards this person, because I always say, like, if you're around people who constantly trigger you, you don't need to be around people. Make peace with the people. Make peace with those trash people, because they're kind of trash. Because why would you want to see me upset? You want to see me upset because you think it's funny. And I think a lot of people like to mess with you because they like to see you upset. I feel like, and I feel like that's why I've been laughing. A lot of people like to see you upset. Oh, you're so cute when you're upset. You're so funny when you're upset. It's not funny when I get violent. So I feel like instead of giving them that entertainment, put it towards something useful, okay? Intuition. And know when somebody is trying to intentionally make you upset. People will try to intentionally make you upset. You know, reflect on what makes you, why you got so upset in the first place. Now there is a I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist. I do not diagnose people. None of that. There is a, I want to say, intermittent explosive disorder. People are prone to just get really upset, right? But and that can be the case for some. But for most, just understand why you got upset. What is it about it that made you upset? Because when it's all said and done, sometimes you may feel like you overreacted. And because I'm one of those people who I tend to stay in control of my emotions because I know I overreact. I have a tendency to not overreact, right? So knowing that you overreact coincides with knowing the people who try to get you to react, okay? Go on to the next. Blinded to the pain, forgetting oneself. I feel like you guys can get so upset that you guys can, if possible, can spontaneously combust, all right? You probably one of my pals that see red. I probably don't feel anything when you're upset or fighting, right? So I think a part of this upcoming shadow work is, I think you if you chose this path, I feel like this is more so warning you to tell you that if you continue to get as angry as you do, it may not be good for you in the long run. So this is more so running. So like, don't be so blinded that you just black out and forget everything. Because you know how some of these serial killers be like, I don't know what happened, or these, those who commit murder, they be like, I don't know, I just blacked out. I don't know. Because sometimes when we're, okay, so here's a game. Sometimes when we angry, so angry, and we black out, sometimes a spirit jumps into us, right? They jump to us and take control. Probably an intranquil spirit, right? They jump in, take control, and then that's why sometimes people don't remember what happened. They got so upset that they spiritual body, their auric field got weak, and it allowed a spirit to jump in and take control, boop boop boop, and then leave, and then you don't know what happened, right? People be, and it be cases like that. So I feel like that's important for you guys to say. You guys need to recognize your. I have this thing. I have a personal anger scale where I know when I am upset, and I become aware that I'm upset, what to do, right? So I feel like you guys need to have an anger scale, like knowing, okay, I'm boiling, I'm warm, I'm hot. No, go from like I'm warm, ooh, warmer. I'm heating. I am smoothering, whatever the word is, smoldering, scalding. I am hot. I am boiling. I am lava. I am a volcano. Have a scale like that, okay? I feel like naturally you guys are nice in nature. Ooh, I feel like you guys are very nice in nature and small in nature. If not nice, then small. And people don't expect that from you, okay? But I feel like some of you guys, some guys are very, y'all just have this, I'm not gonna say tickle me, try me type of vibe, but don't be around people who feel like they could try you just because you're nice or you're small, because that light switch could go on, right? And I'm gonna read this one because I like this. I usually don't like to read from the book. I like to get it from direct, but I feel like this coincides with what I've been saying. So it says you've known violence in your life, maybe on the outside, maybe on the inside, with a mind that has tortured you with fear, shame, darkness, and doubt. Enough of that now. It is time for a gentler way, less pain, more gain, and more no more no more torture. It's time for your sweets and treats. Let me see what this other one says. Okay, so I feel like, and a lot of this has to do with you protecting your inner child too, which is fine, and I get that. Okay, um, so I feel like you guys just need to do a lot of inner child work during this upcoming shadow period for winter. Okay, okay, what's next? They just talk about y'all being peaceful. Y'all need to work on being peaceful. Oh my God. Cause you got peaceful right here. You got be peaceful and gentler right here. And okay. So you got amplify. Okay, bro. And you got peaceful right here. But you got amplify. I can't get in the trigger statement. I can't get anything right. True statement. I'm in divine time. Harness your loving energy and watch as one miracle unfolds after another. Peaceful. My life is a mess. I find stillness within. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Oh, okay. So your outer world may be as chaotic because, but anyway, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Go within to find peace there, and your life will reflect that. So I feel like, okay, so this is dealing with inner peace. So work on your inner peace and not letting these external people get to you, right? But that concludes your pick a card readings. Thank you for tuning in. And till next time, see ya.